Hello and welcome to our new series of empowerment workshops. These videos are designed to provide hard-to-find information on the things that impact your sexual health and wellness so you can take charge of you. Today we have my good friend Marcus. Would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Marcus. I'm a medical social worker in Tacoma, Washington. I've been working in social services and public health the last 10 years, and I'm here to provide some information.
Awesome. What will we be talking about today?
So today we're going to be talking about HIV testing, window periods, where to go to get tested, and what that all entails when you do an HIV test.
Nice. Then we'll answer some questions directly from you. But first, this information should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical experience or treatment. So let's get to it. I have friends who have never been tested. And some of them, it's because they either don't know where to go, they're too nervous, or they simply just don't feel like they're at risk.
Yeah, that's pretty common. People unknowingly know what those risks are, like having multiple partners or sharing needles. People who are HIV positive, 1 in 7 don't know that they have the virus, and unknowingly they're spreading the virus, which is unfortunate.
Wow. So who should be getting tested?
The CDC, which is the Center of Disease Control, states that people 13 to 64 should at least get tested once for HIV.
Okay, and for gay and bisexual men who are sexually active, how often should they get tested?
Yeah, gay and bi men who are sexually active, they should be getting tested every, 3 to 6 months if they can.
Now, what if someone can't afford to go that often?
So if someone can't afford to go that often, there are a lot of options for people. They can go to somewhere like a nonprofit or a community clinic to that's low scale or no cost for getting HIV testing.
Okay.
In Seattle, there's Gay City, and then there's also Lifelong, they're a nonprofit AIDS organization. In Tacoma, there's another AIDS organization called PCAF, and then they also have the health department in Tacoma where you can get tested.
Oh, good. That's great to know. So one thing I didn't realize until we were starting this workshop is that there are actually different types of HIV tests.
Yeah, there's one HIV test that looks for the HIV antibodies in your system. And then there's the other test that looks for the virus itself.
Last time I got tested, they did like a mouth swab and I got my results in about 20 minutes. Which test is that one?
So that test is looking for the HIV antibodies in your system if you have the infection, and that's this OraQuick test.
Okay.
It can be through your mouth, through the saliva, or a little finger prick, and they test that.
Now, after you feel like you've been exposed to the virus, what's the window period timing like for when you should do a test like this?
So the window period is the time between infection and then when that infection will register on the test. So for this, if you get an infection, and in order for it to register in the test, it would take like 4 weeks for HIV antibodies to build up in your system, and the OraQuick will detect that.
So after about 4 to 6 weeks is when you'll get an accurate reading from a test like this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, are there any benefits over one or the other?
There's no really benefits over one or the other. They both give you accurate results. It's just depending on your window period of were you exposed or you felt like you had an HIV infection 4 weeks ago. This test will show the results. 95% of individuals who take this test will have antibodies showing within 4 weeks. Okay. Whereas if you feel like you're exposed sooner, you would look into, 7 to 10 days, you would look into an RNA test.
That is so good to know. All right. Thanks for all that information, Marcus. But let me make a plug for empowerment before we open up the test. In Washington State, there are actually a decent number of places to get tested. But if you're like us, it might be hard to find out where to go, what hours, how much it costs, or even if the information is up to date once you find it. We've tried to simplify that here at Empowerment, where you can go on our website, empowerwa.org, and use our testing locator tool. Again, our website is empowerwa.org, where you can take charge of you. And back to you, Marcus. So we're going to be taking a test today, right?
Yes, we are.
All right. And what kind of test are we looking at?
This is the OraQuick test. This test is for HIV antibodies in your system.
Nice. So if I had an exposure in the last month, would this test capture that?
Most likely, yes. This test would capture your results if you were exposed a month ago.
Now, for someone who's never been tested, what is that experience like?
The experience like is different for everyone, but when you get tested, you're around professionals who are, open, non-judgmental, and there to provide you best service for, getting tested.
Yes. I can imagine that this is very routine for you, but it's still nerve-wracking.
Yes, it's normal to be nervous. Some people, get very nervous because this is their first time being tested. But there are, staff, trained professionals to help you understand your results, what to do, whether your results are negative or positive.
So now Marcus will be walking me through on how to take the OraQuick test.
All right, so I'm gonna open the box. So I'm not gonna go through every single step. So it's important for our viewers to see the test and to know that there's a lot of instructions inside to go through each and every one of the steps through here. So read your directions. The first step is to get the equipment. So we have the testing stick.
Okay.
This is what you'll swab your mouth with between your gums on the top layer and the bottom layer to test for HIV. And then we have our testing tube, a testing vial. So this will, help produce the results. And together we'll place them here in the tester, right here, and wait 20 minutes to get our results. Take the stick out and rub between your gums. So there you go, grab the stick. This go between the top gum and then go down to the bottom gum, and then we're gonna stick it in the vial. So 1 second.
So do I have to go from the back to the corner or just straight for the top?
Just go like that, swipe one way, and then go down, and then go the other way.
Okay, so do I pull my lip out and go?
Kind of, just put it in between your gum.
I wanna make sure I'm not doing it wrong. Okay.
Between your gum and your lip.
Okay.
But 1 second, I'm gonna open the vial for you too. So 1 second, I'm opening. You're swiping, I'm opening the vial for you.
Yeah, okay. And now do the bottom? Mm-hmm. Do I flip it around?
Yes.
Okay.
And this vial is tough. 1 second.
All right.
You got it? Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna put the vial. You put yours in here?
And facing this way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And there we go. And then we're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. So looking through this pamphlet, it explains, to do this between 20 minutes and not to keep the test in longer than 40 minutes.
Okay.
So we need to, be on top of it, check our results, and go from there. And then, there's also instructions in Spanish. So there you go.
So since the test is working through my saliva, are you able to catch HIV through saliva?
No, you will not catch HIV through saliva.
Okay.
Unless there's a high amount, blood in your mouth and your spit. Blood is how you transfer HIV. One of the ways to transfer HIV, but not through saliva. You just build up antibodies in your saliva and your bloodstream. So that's the way this test is capturing. We're going through your results. This shows that there's negative results and positive results. There's the C, that's the control line. That shows that the test is working and that's what we want to see. What we don't see is a second line at the T, and so that means that this results is non-reactive. That means there's no HIV detected as of 4 weeks ago in this test. So your results is negative as of 4 weeks ago. Also, in addition to your test, if there was a faint line, a line at the T, that means that the test could be reactive. So you have to look very carefully at the test and see if there's even a faint line. Right now, I don't see anything. Do you see anything?
No.
No. So that means, there's no reaction to this test. That means that your results are negative. But if there is, a reaction to this test, the book explains what to do, where to get a second test, a verification test, and go from there if you do receive a positive result.
Okay. Now we're going to answer some often asked questions along with any user questions submitted to us over the last month. And remember, if you have any questions, submit it to questions@empowerwa.org. That's again, questions@empowerwa.org. And you'll be entered into a fun drawing to win an empowerment loot crate full of great prizes, including premium condoms, lube, and even some fun toys. So question number 1. I've been dating this guy for a couple months. It's going pretty well. We're using condoms still, but we're considering not. What's a good time frame to stop using condoms in a relationship?
So yeah, that question comes up a lot, and every couple is different. A good example would be, getting tested early in the relationship, keep using condoms, give yourself a good time frame, 6 months, and then get tested again at 6 months and see what your results are. This is to clarify and clear any window periods, where there's the 4-week window period, 2-week window period. Do HIV tests, STI testing, and clarify and know your results. Set that boundary with your partners because each relationship is different. There's open relationships, there's monogamous relationships. So using all those types of relationships, you clarify what you want in this relationship and what, your status is.
All right, let's go to question number 2. I always ask partners if they've been tested or if they know their status. Is that good enough? Should I really push each of my partners to get tested with me?
I mean, if applicable, yeah, get tested with them. If they can show you the results, that's awesome as well. I mean, really asking your partner, hey, have you been tested? What is your status is very important because you should also be able to present that status as well. And, really take care of yourself and take care of them, like I said earlier.
Absolutely. We got to make asking about your status sexy. For me, it's like a responsibility thing. Like if a guy were to be like, what's your status before we get into sex? I'd be like, okay. Like not only is you serious, but like you're responsible too. Like that would turn me on, honestly. I'm just saying.
And fortunately, in gay dating apps, we can present our status on our profiles. Some people don't. And if they don't, that's their prerogative, but also feel comfortable asking who you're going to have sex with or hook up with. Hey,
it is cool that sites do give you the option to list it, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind that a lot of times you don't know these people.
Yeah, or people want their privacy, and so they want you to ask them in person.
Absolutely. I think it's totally appropriate to ask. Yes. All right. Closing and resources to find out more. I wasn't supposed to read that, was I? All right.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
They don't know you messing up.
I know.
All right. So.
Don't tell them that. I know he's messing up.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marcus, for joining us today. And thank you all for tuning in. And remember, if you have questions in the future, you can send it to empowerwa.org. Will you be joining us for the next?
Yes, the next workshop will be I Got Tested, Now What? And we'll go from there.
We will. We'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.